Okay, hit record just so it's going before I leave the room.
Large enough you can read that?
I think so.
Yeah, that's it.
Guess I better go take my spot. They lock the library doors at 6, so I hang out there for a few minutes and let anyone in that wants to be here.
Still get in. Yeah. Right now, we have this is the Cultural Tourism Promotion Advisory Board meeting for September 10th, 2024, and the time is 6 p.m. We're currently just waiting on one more board member to show up or log in, which looks like I got to pay attention to who's where, and it's online. And let's see, so Aaron, are you online? Can everyone online hear us?
I can hear you, Chris.
Right, good.
This is Lisa Joyce. I'm driving my car, but I can hear you.
Okay, good. So we'll make sure. Got Yvonne signing in. As we just wait for last few folks to log in. We've got in our room, we've got 3 of the 6 and 1 online, so that gives us 4. And here comes Betsy coming in. So we got 5 of the 6 now, so that's good. So with that, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order.
Hopefully she'll quit so that I can talk. Little dog noise.
So the time is 6:02 on September 10th, 2024. And this is the Cultural Tourism Promotion Advisory Board meeting. I'll go ahead and call the roll. Chair Ryan Gale. Here. Vice Chair Carly Wright.
Here.
Omar Alvarado, I do not see here. Roger Williams. Here. Aaron Zeiss,
Here.
is online. And Betsy Vega. It's here. Great, welcome. Thanks for all coming. So that gives us 5 of 6.
All right, I do want to welcome everyone for being here tonight. So the first item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda for September 10th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, is there a second? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. All right, so next item on our agenda is a review of the typical call for tourism promotional advisory board year. So the next major thing coming up in October is going to be the annual mandatory TOT grant orientation and release of the online applications. Now, there in the packet, there's a copy of the press release. It's going to be going out Monday, September 16th. And just as a reminder, the meetings that are mandatory for the pre-application are going to be Tuesday, October 8th, 2024 from 6 to 8 p.m. And there will be another one, that's another option to attend on Tuesday, October 10th, 2024, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Thursday.
It's Thursday, my mistake. Thank you. And applications will be available beginning October 10th, 2024, and applications will be due November 11th, 2024. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the approval for the minutes from July 9th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
We so make that motion.
Okay, we have a second.
I second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, motion passes. All right, now we come to the portion of public comment. So this is for appearances of persons wishing to address the board on any matter other than those which appear on the agenda. Are there any public comments?
This is Yvonne with Deepwood. I wanted to make an announcement. I wanted to let you know that I have resigned from Deepwood and wanted to thank all of you for all the support you've given me during my time at Deepwood. I will be moving to Lord and Scriver Conservancy, so I'm really excited to be staying within the historical cultural part of Salem. And hopefully I can identify some good grant ideas for that organization and still stay involved.
Thank you. We appreciate you sharing that. And thank you for all your service at Deepwood.
I'm sure you'll be missed.
Well, thank you. I will miss Deepwood as well. I will still be able to have some involvement, however, because the Lord and Scriver Conservancy cares for the formal gardens at Deepwood.
I look forward to seeing what you do with Lord and Schreiber.
Thank you very much. And I will have a representative going forward from Deepwood, either Melanie Jones or Elizabeth Okamata will be participating in these meetings. So thank you all for the support. I've learned a lot through this process.
Thank you. Are there any other persons wishing to make a public comment? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to items requiring action, with the first item requiring action being a review of updated TOT grant applications.
So in your packet, I actually went through and did a mock-up version of each one of the applications that is submitted via online. So I was, as you go through them and take a look, you see most of the questions are all the same as in past years. There's been a little bit of an update to the budget sheets, change in requirements, that they're no longer requiring bank statements, but you'll be turning in your IRS I-90 form for the facility operators. And then the other piece is that you'll see when you go online that there is a character count and it is active while you're in the online form. I noticed it did not print out what the what those are on the form itself, but it is active in online. It'll give you a count of how many characters are available and how many you've used up until that point. If you're filling out a section and you put in too many characters, all the characters turn red. So it's kind of a subtle notification that you've exceeded the amount of characters for that question. But there are still a lot of space available on most of the questions. So this was just an opportunity for the board to take a look at that, get the first chance at seeing what that end result looks like. Because that's how the application will come to you.
Yeah, any questions or comments from anybody?
Great.
All right. Seeing none, we're gonna move on to advice regarding action number 2, which is the public announcement of the next TUT grant orientation schedule.
Yes. Now that the board's,
I got it right here.
you had a chance to review what that applications will look like when they come to you. We'd like to go ahead and release the press release for that. I did though just see or catch one noticeable change on it is that it says applications being November 11th, but on the grant manual on the first page it says November 18th, which I can update one way or the other to the board's favor. How would you like to have that? Do you want to have it on the 11th like the press release has, or do you want to have it on the 18th? As the grant manual states.
Oh,
It doesn't
November
matter.
11th holiday, doesn't matter.
I think you may be
I
right.
feel like giving them an extra week. Yeah.
You want to go with an extra week on the 18th? Procrastination is great.
Yeah, I'm fine with saving people a little grace and doing the
Yeah,
18th.
especially because we're not accepting any changes after they've submitted applications. So that final week should give them the moment to
Okay,
review.
I will update the press release to read the 18th. That way it'll be in harmony with the grant manual.
Any other questions or comments or any silent? Seeing none, we're gonna move on to the Cultural Tourism Fund report, the draft for fiscal year 2024.
Did you get an approval on all those? You have a motion and.
Yeah. And this is the motion to update the date to.
Yeah.
November 18th. Okay, is there a motion to update the date to November 18th?
I motion.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Karen beat him.
Yay. Your name will go
Okay,
down.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, now we're moving on to the Cultural Tourism Fund report, draft fiscal year 2024.
All right. So we've, the reason this report is called the draft, let's see if I can share my screen. Let's see. Share it with all those out online. There's the agenda. We had a good year for the TOT collections. Yep. The reason it says draft there is just simply because the auditors haven't finished their final work to make it official. But I don't really expect any changes in that. The tax collections for the transient occupancy tax this year came in at 4.8 million. Last year was 4.66 million, so about $173,000 more, or 3.72% increase from over last year's collections. Expenditures are on par with what was budgeted for and expected. So nothing out of the ordinary there. The balance.
What was the contingency?
So the contingency is That primarily that there is the bank charges for the transactions. If, with our.
Okay,
But if you take,
well then good, because we came a lot under budget of, or,
but if you want to take a look at the cost of the interest earned on the fund balance, it's $133,000. It's like. It makes up for 46,000 worth of
yeah,
bank charges. Kind of. But
no,
yeah,
but it makes it easier to
it's
digest.
a little bit easier to digest that. Or for those who are financially minded, it's like, okay, how much do I need to earn, have
Yeah.
saved up to earn
Yeah,
100 plus retirement? Yeah. Not that anybody would think about that. Roughly 4.8 million. On a monthly basis, the June month is actually 2 months. It's the May and June. It's collected, reported in the month of July. But that's the breakdown of the monthly receipts for the transient occupancy tax. Not a whole lot to talk about there. I kind of anticipate that we're kind of topping out. This is the most amount that we've collected. Really just boils down to room nights and which average daily room night rate that's being charged. And how much travel and tourism there's going to be in the next 12 months, basically. So that all is a factor in economics, right?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Questions, comments?
Hearing none, move on.
Yep, moving on to item rate, which is going to be facility operating grants report for the fourth quarter.
So there's in the packet, all the reports that have been received. So we had some fourth quarter reports as well as some annual reports provided by our facility operators, Deepwood Estates, Elsinore Theater, Holly Ford Museum of Art, Salem Riverfront Carousel, Wild Arts Center, and annual reports from Elsinore and from Holly Ford. And then behind the facility operators were grant reports. We've received the reports for the Capital Pride March and Block Party. 2 from Casa de la Cultura Tavanese for the Dia de Muertos. And I'm going to really butcher this last part. The other event, Concursa de Peño Huestico. 2023. And then the World Beat Festival and Theater 33's new play of Summer Festival. All for your reading enjoyment.
Questions or comments regarding any of the reports?
I have a thought on reports. Well, we don't necessarily, when a grant comes in the next year, look at the reports that have been submitted. And there's one that we heavily funded and they did not receive a lot of outside support. And I'm not sure how you feel about that. Because we're carrying the event. And it concerns me because if we're carrying all the events, then if all of that were like that, then we wouldn't have a whole lot of money in the end.
Yeah. There's give and take in everything, right?
Yeah,
So the purpose of the TOT grants is to put on the events and make them available. Would we like to see more funding from other sources? Yes, of course. We don't want to be the sole provider for these events. But at the same time, all you can do is talk with the organizations that are putting on the events and ask them, how things are going for, receiving support from other areas.
Mhm.
They may have some struggles that we're just unaware of. Maybe they haven't thought about other sources that said it may be a viable option. So,
I mean, it can be explained to them as a goal to become more diverse, more supported elsewhere.
yeah,
And you as a board could say, gosh, this year we're only gonna give you X
yeah,
instead of X, because, got up and running and your goal is to get more diversified in year 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Or not, I mean, that's your power.
Thank you. I appreciate your input.
During your review process, you can say, you know, the amount of money you're requesting, the number of people that attended
Yeah.
is
That
going to be higher.
That has
than what
come up
you'd like to see.
before, you know, and that's fair feedback from the board to a grantee.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, line.
Anyone online?
Okay, so if-
I just have one comment. I agree with what Carly is saying and kind of what she's getting at. I think that having conversations like that are important with granting organizations, but also if it's not really 100% our responsibility to do this, but from a community aspect, if there are ways or resources that we can point organizations at that can help them diversify their funding streams, workshops, things like that, that may exist, or resources that we might be able to point organizations to as we're having these conversations, it might be worth it to do. Maybe some research on the part of all of us on the board to see if there's some things that we can do, or if the city has any type of granting workshops or anything coming up. It's just a thought.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to item 10, capital improvement reports, which we have no capital improvement reports. We're going to move on to number 11, which is the roundtable discussion and appearance of interested citizens. And this is the opportunity for those in attendance of the meeting to address the board and share upcoming events. Okay, let's start with in person.
All right, what do you got for us?
Oh, I'm with Travel Salem, for those of you I haven't met. Yeah, so updates I would share is Travel Salem has, so thanks to Yvonne for reprinting the Experience Salem brochure that features all the cultural heritage organizations. I don't have a copy with me, but she and her group cultural heritage folks got it updated, and so it's been printed, and now there's a whole new run of those, and so we have distributed those through a company we call it Certified Folder, who also distributes those throughout the region along with our visitor guide. So that is happening. Other than that, we're working on our next visitor guide, our annual visitor guide, getting that together. That'll come out in March, late March. We wrapped up Ironman again this year, end of July. And that went really well. We had about 7,000 visitors in the area, staying in hotels, eating at restaurants. So it was a good event again. Yeah, I think that's all that I was. Oh, we do have an industry summit. It's coming up in November. This whole group will get an invite if you're interested. It's really we're hosting it for the industry. It's our Mid-Willamette Valley Tourism Summit. And it's just different ways for the industry to connect. We host a couple of workshops. Everyone's invited to come. So you guys will get invites. We have not sent out an actual invite yet. It's about to go out, but I'll make sure that TOT board gets that for any of those who are interested in attending.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you still asking for people to go to travelsalem.com and provide event information that you have coming up?
Yeah, any events that people have, submit them on travelsalem.com or send them to me and our staff will help submit them. If you have a whole list, if you don't have time, we're happy to do that too.
Nothing from our student from Willamette? Okay.
Thank you.
On to online.
How about online?
Trying to
Sally?
see- Yeah.
I saw you jump on there for a second.
Sure. Yeah, I think you can hear me. Oh,
We hear you.
you can hear me. Okay.
Yep.
We are getting ready to have a very busy end of September at the Elsinore. We have 8 shows. Starting on Sunday, we have Little River Band. It's almost sold out, but I think some good seats got released today. If anybody still wants to come. Then we have our free monthly movie the following Tuesday.
I think she's muted, guys.
What happened? Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Where did I start getting turned off? Anyway, 8 shows in the next 2 weeks. Little River Band on this coming Saturday, and it'll just be full steam ahead.
Sally, they're saying you're frozen. I don't know what's going on because I can see you and hear you just fine.
Okay. Can everybody else hear me?
I'm gonna chat back to them.
I can hear you. This is
Okay.
Yvonne. I can hear you, Sally.
I know. Those online can hear just fine.
Okay. The other exciting thing is we've been working hard on our season program and it's looking beautiful. I'm guessing we will probably have copies in our office maybe 10 days from now. And a lot of you will probably receive a copy at home. If you don't, come in and see us between 9 and 5 and grab one. Carly has been working really hard on it. And yeah, we got lots of great things coming up. So I think that's it.
Well, that sounds amazing. I am the only board member sitting here right now. I think we lost the room.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it seems like it to me too. Like
Yeah.
where?
Yeah,
where
maybe
did
the
they go?
problem's on their end, not mine.
Yeah, no, I think you're fine. This happened last time where we suddenly all just got like kicked into a side room and we're all in a room by ourselves.
We're at the kids' table.
That's right. They just kicked us right out of the meeting.
Should we email them? I'm trying to
I
figure out.
chatted. I dropped in the chat because Kelly had said that, Sally, you're frozen. We can't hear you. We'll move on to Lisa Joyce. But Lisa Joyce doesn't know that because she's in a room with me.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I'm
it's
gonna text Carly, maybe. I'll text Carly.
Oh, that's
She's
a good
in the room.
idea. She's plugged in. Lost you. I'm also emailing Chris.
Everybody's got Carly's contacts.
I'm sitting in my car with the Indian food I got for takeout, and I'm just dying. I just want to go in. I want to talk and go inside and then watch the rest of the debate.
I'm gonna try leaving the meeting and re-logging in and see if I get kicked back into the regular meeting. Hang on.
I'm just gonna drop off.
Bye, Yvonne.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Thanks.
We'll see you around. I know.
Absolutely.
We'll miss you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, it says we can see your comments. And sorry for the technical difficulties.
Nope, I got kicked right back in here. So we're on the meeting. They're not.
But
they added me because they had to approve me. Let's see, what does this chat say?
Yeah,
It says Kelly's back on.
Yeah.
I don't know that she is though, because she was on.
Well, we just texted. She just messaged all of us and asked us to type our comments. We can see those. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Lisa, I see a raised hand. What would you like to share? I'd like to share about Artisans Village. And let me say that typing it all out on my phone is not what I want to do.
I know.
I know. I'm so, and let me just say that it was hot.
Oh, gosh.
It
No
was,
AC. Yeah.
well, we don't have AC in the WAC anyway, and then we're outside and the sun just hit our booth in the heat of the
Oh,
day.
at the
Um,
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, people,
Lisa, if there's something you want, I'm sitting at a computer, so I can try to dictate if you want.
oh, that's so sweet of you. People told us that AV was a top reason for attending. We are stunned.
This is here.
Online people,
Yes.
Yes.
We hear them more.
Lisa, I did a
There
terrible
they
job
are.
of attempting a
Oh,
climate art center report.
It's a good thing because Lisa was having to type out her report on her phone because she's on her phone.
okay. Hello,
Lisa
everyone.
says it was hot.
Yeah. So this is Lisa Joyce from the Willamette Arts Center. And I just went through my first state fair. And it was a very interesting experience because the person that we work with at the state fair was a new person, and I'm a new person, and a lot of the practices that have been in place for many years were no longer in place. So there was a lot of the theater improvisational background I have came in handy. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. It was very, very different experience for our volunteers. And all in all, the volunteers came through. I was so impressed with their can-do attitude, their energy, their enthusiasm, their love for what we do, the joy on people's faces, getting their raku pieces, and then working with the vendors was also a really cool experience for me in terms of seeing the community that develops over the years of the folks that come and share their art at the state fair. I have a lot of thoughts about how to make it better next year. I will say that if it could be 10 degrees cooler, attendance would be better. It was, and I definitely saw on those hot days, our numbers were not where we were in other years. And I think that's why Art Fair moved to September, those sorts of, issues. And the other news I just wanted to share is that we're going to be doing a fundraising screening of Ghost at Salem Cinema coming up on October 13th, trying to find some fun ways that are clay adjacent and also fun and campy to bring our community together and have some fun, and the ramp up to Empty Bowls, which will be held in the weekend before Thanksgiving. Anyway, so that's all I really wanted to share about. And if you could do something about that heat, we'd all love it.
Comments?
Thanks, Lisa.
You're
You were more thorough than mine.
Well, I've been sitting in my car with some Indian food that I'm really excited to eat in a minute. So
Enjoy your food.
Enjoy, yeah.
all right. Thank you all for your service on this board. It's so important and we really, really appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. Well, any other business items? Items?
Press play then print, and you can, if you're in this room, can take it home with you.
Yeah, we got the latest issue of Press Play.
It looks so good, Curly.
Thank you. And it's
I'm excited.
will be available all over in tomorrow morning. Right now, you can go to Live Source and pick it up.
For October, the next meeting is going to be on the second Tuesday of October. Is actually going to be orientation. I highly encourage all board members to attend either that evening or the Thursday afternoon. So that way, those applicants that are in the meeting can ask any questions, Also hear the spiel from the staff perspective and how the orientation is put together and what's going to be covered. Say, hey, Chris talked about that during his orientation, right? Don't you remember that? And you'll be able to say that because you were there. So I just want to encourage board members to attend those orientations. Because it's good for especially new board members because they need to hear, just like all the new applicants, what the changes are and what's new, also what the purpose is of the TOT grants.
So that's Tuesday, 10/8 at 6, just like regular second Tuesday TOT. And Thursday, the 10th, 2 to 4. And those will be remote only?
That's the question.
I have this
We
room.
have to have a hybrid meeting or we can have online only. But we have to have the online capability available to everyone. So what's the preference from the board? Do you want to have it hybrid with some in person and some that allowed online? Or do you just want to go all online?
I like seeing people's faces.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I like to just get more involved and just hear everyone.
Yeah, I like knowing they're at least that invested to show up in person.
Yeah.
Considering that's all, I mean, we asked them.
Correct.
I think it's
This
easier.
year, you're only gonna be asking them to show up for the orientation.
That
And
is
and whatever
mandatory.
they submit is what they submit, and they can choose to show up at the.
Yeah,
at the-
yeah, so I would like them to show up.
And that's one question is easier sometimes to do during person. So, yeah, so we're saying hybrid meeting.
I'm good with that.
So they'll make it happen.
Thanks.
Does it need to be an official motion or? Okay.
This room.
All right.
All right, we have no other parking lot business, so any last minute questions or comments from anybody? Seeing none, anybody online? Oh, we have a hand raised.
That's been there.
Okay,
I don't think Lisa has it.
double checking.
She should be able to.
Yes, question.
Yes.
I'd like to know more, like the parameters on who can apply for the grant. Who, what nonprofit is allowed, not allowed, depending on whatever it is that they have. I do know an organization that they have an event for children. It's called Christmas of Hope. And so, when they started, it was just a couple of families. Now it's grown to several families, so they have to have 2 sections. And I'd like to maybe encourage them to apply so they can get a bigger venue or more be well known in the community. And it's not only just for certain children, but it's also for the children in the community. So yes.
What was the name of the group again?
It's like Christmas of Hope.
Christmas of Hope.
And they have Picnic of Hope as well.
And it's not a fundraiser for them? The event that they'd be putting on?
No, it's not a fundraiser. It would be something that is for the children.
And is it, it's held in the city limits?
That's another question. So there's it has to be here in the city of Salem,
Yes.
correct? Because I know there's like certain areas where there's a city of Salem and in Marion County, is that still part of it or no, it has to be within the?
Yeah, we've made that distinction that it has to be within city limits. So wherever the venue is, where it's located, it has to be within city limits. They could be from outside, they could be like in Kaiser, an organization in Kaiser, but if they put on the event, say at Riverfront Park, that would fall.
Oh, perfect, okay, if that answers that question.
And to answer your question a little bit further, in the agenda packet, there's the grant manual. And that goes over the requirements and who can or can't apply for the grants. So in general, there are nonprofit organizations that are registered with the IRS. And they have to have a letter that they provide on the application. So they're a 501c3, C4, or C6 classification nonprofit, then they can qualify. If they don't have that qualification, there's another grant that we do have that's up to $2,000. So it's kind of like a seed money for organizations that don't have that nonprofit status just yet, but they're doing good things and putting on events for the community, and it's open to the public. Then that's the type of thing that they can apply for in a non-501c. That's
And then the money that is provided, does it have to be like accounted? I know.
so it's a reimbursement grant.
Mhm.
So that means that they actually have to spend the money and submit a report and copies of the invoices that have payments been made to be reimbursed.
Okay.
So sometimes that's can be difficult for smaller organizations to be able to front a bunch of money, especially if you're a new 501c3 and you qualify for $10,000. You may have difficulties spending the full $10,000, before you get reimbursed.
Oh, okay, so that's how it works. So you have to spend it first
Yep.
and then you get reimbursed for it. Oh, okay, that's a good, that,
And there's limits on the reimbursements.
What's that?
There's limits on the reimbursements of like, there's certain items you can't.
You can't be reimbursing alcohol, drinks, that kind of stuff. Typically, it's gonna be for promotions, marketing, advertising, poster flyers, et cetera, mailing stuff. It can be for musical groups, bringing in Toby Keith or whoever, I don't know. Just throw it out
yeah,
there.
no, totally.
That's it.
And then could it like also
We bring it back.
food or like the distribution of food for, like they have like the snacks or waters and things like that.
So, so those are lower on the totem pole, but yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
okay.
Can I
qualifies.
make a suggestion? I don't mean to interrupt. This is a great conversation. But we do have our grantees here and some of them have dinner to eat. I would suggest going to the orientation that our grantees are going to go to, because I will probably answer a lot of your questions, and then reading the grant manual. And then if you have any more questions, emailing them directly to Chris, because he can explain things to you.
In detail.
Okay, awesome. No,
Yeah.
thank you. That answers a lot of my questions. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Is there final questions or comments from anybody? No, seeing none, meeting adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So he just stuck